This is What If Naruto Was Enslaved, Part 1. How this is going to work out is Naruto is about the age of 6, and due to the fact that he doesn't really have a clan, the Uzumaki clan was disbanded and was more or less destroyed, and the remnants have spread out across the world. So now he's an easy pickings for what the slave capturers like to do. They go after young children or people who are weak and force them into battle. Now, he is going to be captured, and of course, he was still making trouble around the age of 6. So people are going to notice that he's gone, but they can't find him. And that would, of course, cause alarm. They would search for a while, but they, of course, wouldn't find him because this is throughout all of the hidden villages. Now, who are the people who usually watch these slave fights? It'd be nobility. More or less people who have gained, like, special treatment or gained a title, like clan leaders, or such as someone who more or less just owns a lot of property, who has a lot of power. Now, Naruto himself, he's still young. He's only 6 years old. He's scared completely. He doesn't know how to respond to this. He goes in and he sees a bunch of other children around his age. These are his allies. Granted, well, early on, he makes a pact with them. They all agree to help each other out. They share food. They share anything they possibly can. That is until each one of them gets picked off. See, these kids have to fight to the death. They go against other slave owners, well, slave owners' property, other children, and they fight until the death. The winner gets more or less gets a prize from the slave owner himself. The slave owner gets a bunch of money, and the more you win, the more special treatment you'll receive. That's why these kids made a pact. The more they won, the more special treatment they would share with the other kids. Naruto learned this really early on that he can't lose, because death is not an option for him. He doesn't want to die. After about a year's worth of time, Naruto is alone. Those 7 other children he started with, they're all dead. And the slave owner refuses to buy more. Naruto doesn't know why, but he's glad. He's glad that no one else has to go through the pain that he has to. He misses his friends, of course, and he's in complete isolation at the age of just 7 years old. Granted, he is quite intelligent. Why is he intelligent? See, these kids, he did talk a lot with them. So he's not, like, stupid. He gained intelligence. But now he's isolated. And he does have to go in places with the slave owner. He's won so many battles to the point where he's treated not as a human being, you can say, but more as a pet. He went from being a slave to a pet. But Naruto sees this as no difference. He still has to wear just normal pants. He has to wear normal pants, no shoes, no shirt. He's lucky if he even gets bandages for his wounds. Of course, the slave owners Of course, the slave owner will make sure that Naruto's healed. Otherwise, his one prize or one contestant will completely lose. Now, Naruto, over the course of the next 5 years, before a certain day, one of his last battles, he's been training. He's been training his chakra control. See, he's learned about the chakra, more or less from the other children. And he also learned many skills, like martial arts skills, from going against other opponents. And he was forced to kill them, but he did learn a lot from them. He learned how to actually do proper martial arts, and he practiced. He strikes the walls constantly and constantly until he can't feel his fists. His body is a living weapon now because of the fact that it's basically his bones are hardened to steel. His pain tolerance is extremely high, and honestly, he enjoys pain. So even when he does feel the pain, it doesn't bother him. Now, Naruto has learned chakra control to an extent where he's unlocked it. It's not chakra anymore. It's ki. It relates more to the Dragon Ball universe if you want to think about it. Now, it's not exactly the same. The ki itself enhances his already strengthened body extremely. He can. It's different though because he has to concentrate. How he normally powers up is he puts his hands together in more or less meditation type form, like standing, and he bows his head, puts his hands together in a praying motion, and begins to power up. This leads to the entire stadium sometimes erupting in power from him. It sends rocks flying. It's more or less when Goku like yells and the ground begins to shake and shudder. It's like that, except that's more of more or less how he extremely powers up himself, except in a more calmer motion because it's his inner power. He's channeling all his power in his body, so he's not yelling. He's just focusing it in. It makes more sense in my eyes because it's a conversion of chakra into ki, which the ki in this case is an advanced form of the chakra. And now once you unlock ki, you can't go back to using any form of chakra. So he can't do jutsus. This is his only way of defending himself, which is more or less atoned towards like martial arts. So now he's mastered this, and he can make his entire arm a weapon now. He can coat it in the ki and make it into a sword. He can make it into almost anything he wants it to be. Once he closes his fists, it's basically he's slamming people with hammers. If he opens his hand and he keeps his hand outward, it's a sword. Anything he wants it to be, that's what it becomes. His ki output is extraordinary. This is an ability limited to a select few, and he's one of the only people. Granted, the only people who have ever done this before aren't alive now. Now, Naruto is more or less didn't really know what this ability was and why he had it. But of course the slave owner would have to tell him. He would do research on this and he would tell him, and this would lead to Naruto being informed about what ki is. This is why the slave owner keeps this guy alive. He knows how rare he is too. On Naruto's 12th birthday, he has just turned 12. On Naruto's 12th birthday, he has a special fight, and there's a special guest there. See, this is also a girl around Naruto's age. She's about 12, a little older than Naruto. This is her first fight she's ever watched right here. Now, she's only visiting because of her father, of course. Does she support these fights? No. She doesn't even know of what they are. She barely heard of them. And when she sees Naruto step into the ring, she's more or less, you can call it kind of an infatuation at first sight. Any teen girl, of course, finds Naruto attractive, at least in this story. He's quite attractive, and if it weren't for the fact that his slave owner was so stingy and charged so much money, they'd probably buy him. Now, Naruto ends up winning his fight easy. He rushes forward. He dodges an attack. His body just extremely overpowers the guy by him making his hand into a sword, and he just slices the guy in complete half. This causes an eruption of cheer from the crowd. This girl is completely horrified at this. But then she looks at Naruto's face. She expected him to look like a monster. But she sees the look of sadness as he bows his head in respect towards his dead opponent. She knows he's doing this just to survive. Daddy, I think I want to buy this guy. Huh? Well, I'm not buying him. You know how expensive that kid is? No. I don't want to buy him for fighting. I want to buy him to be more or less my butler. See, she wants to buy Naruto and set him free. She wants to keep him and give him a better life, but she can't tell her father this because he won't accept this. Well, I'll give you 25% of the money needed. You have to cover the rest with your allowance. That's fine by me. It's quite generous of you, father. Thank you. They end up talking with the slave owner, and he ends up charging about, I'd say about 4 billion yeni. See, Naruto has built up a good reputation over these years. He's the highest in the youth category. He's beaten adults. He hasn't lost at all, clearly, seeing as how he's still alive. He's one of the strongest. So the fact that he's only charging 4 billion is actually a steal. She buys him, and Naruto is more or less informed of this, and he's surprised. Why would anyone buy me? Do they not know how expensive I am? As he walks into the room to see this girl, he more or less bows his head. He, of course, is going to respect her. This is the new master. First impressions, of course. So she's going to ask to be alone in the room with him. And as they're left alone in the room, she says, my name is Mia. What is your name? My name is Naruto. I am your, he's going to end up having to say, I am your humble servant, because he, of course, is gritting his teeth at this, but he's more or less submitted to her. And he seems that this girl seems more or less kind of nice. You don't need to bow your head to me, she says. But I do. I am your servant. I'm your property at this point in time. That's only a cover story. Don't let yourself be fooled. I bought you so that I could free you. Naruto looks up in surprise. What? Why would you do that? I'm a stranger. That doesn't matter to me. I saw the look of sadness in your eyes when you killed that guy. I know you have a truly kind heart. Naruto thinks about this. But that's still not a good enough reason. Most people would never think of this. I'm not most people. Well, at least allow me to pay back your debt, Naruto says. Well, fine. At this very point in time, I set you free. But I allow you to work your debt off as a butler for me. As a butler? That's it? Naruto says. Of course. I don't want to force you back into fighting like this. Naruto is completely astonished by this. He rushes forward and grabs her hand. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you're not kidding. You doing this means so much to me. You don't understand. He's practically crying tears of joy at this point in time. She just pats him on the head. There's no thanks needed. You'll be paying it off anyways. She just gives him a cutesy smile. Now that's going to be the end of this part of the what if. Next part's going to get into what his duties as a butler are. And also he has one request. That one request will be to go back to his old village. Granted, it will only be for a visit or two. It won't be for a while though, because he doesn't have enough courage to ask that right away. But how will everyone's reaction be to him being set free? Such a powerful dude, especially now that he has ki. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And I'm going to be posting part 2 tomorrow, believe it or not. I'm going to go up for the next 4 days. I'm going to be posting only this what if. It'll be this what if every day for the next 4 days. Thank you guys for watching.